Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mrs. Hannigan. I am the building principal at Lakeview Junior High, and I'm going to kind of walk you through what scheduling looks like for our current 8th graders who are going to step up and go to the high school. I do have a couple people in the office with me. Mr. Ben Baptist, my AP assistant principal. I have Mrs. Sarah Geiger. She is the current 8th grade school counselor. And then I have Mr. Eric Rudder. He is one of the high school counselors with me. So they're kind of going to be monitoring the chat as I go through and do some presenting. And they're going to be answering questions, and then we'll do some Q&A at the end to kind of answer any other questions that you guys have. So I'm going to take a second here, and I'm going to share my screen so that you guys can see my presentation. So give me a second. So I'm hoping everybody can see this now. So we are talking about the scheduling for the class of 2025, and I can't believe we are here already. So we're just kind of get started. So today we're going to do a couple things. I'm going to show you guys who the North counseling staff is. So those are the people that your students are going to be talking with, and they're divided by alphabets. We're going to show you a typical day, like what the school schedule looks like, talk a little bit about graduation requirements. We're going to look at the scheduling hub, which is going to be your tool to kind of guide through all of the process, give you some extra scheduling tools, and look at our scheduling timeline, which I sent out to the families last week and again today when I sent out the link. So let's go through this. So here's your North counseling staff. Miss Linda Kelly is going to work with students' last names A through D, and they keep them all 4 years. So it's not like you're going to change every year. They will be their school counselor for the entirety of their high school career. Mrs. Colby Schmidt will have E to LA. Mr. Eric Rudder is LE to R. And then Mr. Chad Gill is S through Z. Ms. Jan Chandler is your secretary that works with the counseling department, is front desk administrative assistant. And then we have Mrs. Nicole Fiesel, who is the registrar. So she deals a lot with the transcripts and everything that is happening on that end of the high school era. So our typical high school schedule, they are on semesters, not trimesters, which is going to be different for our students because we are on trimesters. So we switch classes 3 times. During the school year, they're only switched twice. So first semester is basically August through December. It ends right around Christmas break, and then or winter break. And then our second semester is January through May. So it'll take you to the end of the school year. In a 9-period day, they are supposed to schedule 6 classes per semester. They'll have lunch in there, and you could have study hall depending on how long their classes are, but this is kind of what your schedule will look like. Classes are anywhere from 40 minutes to 1 hour, depending on what the course is and what subject it is. And those are defined more in the program of study. Graduation requirements. Now, if you have an older student at the high school, their graduation requirements may look a little bit different, but they are required to have 20 high school credits in specific areas, and I'll go over those on the next slide. They need to pass the English 10 and the Algebra 1 air exams, or what's now called the Ohio State tests, or OSTs, and they need to earn 2 state seals, or 1 state and 1 local seal. And if we want to ask about seals, there is, and I'll point it out when we get to the scheduling hub, but there's more information or more in-depth look at what those seals are. So when we talk about credits, we do need those 20 credits for graduation. 4 need to come from English, 3 from science. You must take integrated or what's called physical science. You must take a life science, and you must take one of the advanced sciences. And there's a lot of options in the science area, so you can look through the program of studies and kind of map out your science course. You need to take 4 math credits. You have to have Algebra 2 or an equivalent of Algebra 2 via like CCP or other kind of AP classes. Social studies, you need to do 3 credits. You have to have world history. You have to take American history, and you have to take American government and economics. And those are like semester-long classes, so they're a half credit each. So, and typically take government in your junior year. You need half a credit of health, which means you're taking it for 1 semester. You need half a credit of PE, which is actually going to be 2 full semesters of PE as a quarter credit class, or you need to do a replacement or an exemption for PE, and that's a little bit different. You can get into that a little bit later. Fine arts, you need 1 credit of that, and then you need 4 elective credits of some kind. Cannot include health or PE in your elective credits, but you can include things like foreign language, other art classes, choir, band, things of that sort. So what we're going to need to look at more than anything is the scheduling hub. So the high school created this scheduling hub as an organizer. It kind of allows the students and the families to access everything that they need all in one spot. So your program of studies are here, your graduation requirements are here, a copy of the scheduling form, which we are giving to our students so that they're going to have it to fill out, and then they're going to put it into what My App is. So it's directions on how to use that. Virtual elective course fair is there, and then you can review the frequently asked questions for scheduling. So I'm going to flip over to that. Is it going to show that one?
Let's see. Sure. Yeah.
Does it show it on the screen?
Not quite yet.
Okay. I think, do I have to pick a different present? I think I have to switch over and show you the scheduling hub. So give me 1 second here. I think I have to pick a different screen to share. Sorry, kind of new at this. Okay. So this is the Pickerington North Scheduling Hub, and this is one page where all of the information is kind of housed. So I just kind of want to show you a few parts of it. I sent out the link for this today in through Talking Points and also through Infinite Campus. So you may have gotten the email that had the link to this already. One of the things you want to look at is this Rising Freshman Class of 2025. That is our kiddos that we are talking about. So all the information that is specific to our freshman class is going to be right here. So that's kind of where your student needs to go to look at information for their class. Up at the top are all the links up in the right-hand corner for the meets with the counselors, and they put them on our scheduling timeline, but there are specific dates and times when the counselors are available for questions. So they can just click those meet links and they can get into talk live with a counselor if they have specific questions. And parents can do the same thing as well. It's for students or parents.
Can you zoom in on the hub? Are you able to do that?
Sorry. Is that better?
That'll be better.
Okay, sorry. I needed to zoom in a little bit. So my people are helping me here. So all of your links are up here, and it has the hours in which you can access them. So there'll be somebody there to talk to and answer questions. Over in the upper left-hand corner, you have your program of studies. That is going to be where all of your courses that you can take are listed. If they're having trouble getting into Infinite Campus so that they schedule their classes, you can request your link here for your password to be reset. However, our school counselors, Mrs. Geiger and Mr. Max, can help with that as well. So if they are in school and they need help, they can come find us. They know how to do that. How to use the My App. In other words, this is like your video on how to schedule right here. So you can click there and it'll walk you through the steps. Timeline and deadlines are right here as well. So kind of what you can expect in the next few weeks as the students are scheduling. And then you can also check this frequently asked scheduling questions. If you have a question, it may be answered there as well. I am not going to go as in-depth as the North counselors did as far as like graduation requirements and seals. But if you look down here, this very first class of 2025 scheduling presentation and graduation requirements video goes into all of that in detail. So you can look at that. There's the graduation seal requirements there as well. So you can kind of go through all of that. Also, a link to this meeting will be here. So when we are done, you can go back and view it again. Other information at the bottom, you have your elective departments, and they've put together some videos so you can kind of see what the different departments and courses are in those areas. You have your advanced courses, your College Credit Plus classes, your AP classes. All of that information is there and who to contact if you have questions about that. And then anything that's an application-based program, yearbook, peer collab, service learning, tech guru, global scholars, actor studio, or chorale, all require an application or tryout of some kind. And so the information from those are there. So that is your scheduling hub. I'm going to close that out and kind of get back to my presentation. So give me a second here. I'm going to switch screens again. Okay, so that is your scheduling hub. And like I said, we'll send out the link, and all of the kids have access to the scheduling hub in their Google Classrooms from their teams. So the teams have given the students access to that as well. So it's there. I've sent it to the parents, and it also is on the Lakeview Junior High website under scheduling information. So you can get that there. So basically, when your student goes to schedule, they'll need their scheduling sheet. We're handing those out this week or at the beginning of next week to the kids. Something to write with because they have their paper, an electronic copy of the program of studies, which was on the scheduling hub. And then they'll need to be able to access Infinite Campus because they're going to do what's called the MyApp, which stands for the Multi-Year Academic Planner. Okay, so when they schedule, this is kind of what they're going to look at per semester. They need English, which is a full year course, math, which is a full year course, science, also full year, and social studies full year. So that takes care of 4 out of your 6 classes right there. You can take an elective. You can either do a full year elective or a semester elective, and you need to pick a second elective as well. Same thing, could be a full year or it could be a semester, depending on what they're taking. And then they have a study hall, academic support study hall, or an extra class that they would like to take. Study halls and lunches are scheduled by the computer, so you don't have to go in and select study hall. But you can also add an extra class if you don't want to take a study hall. So you can read about those different classes in the program of studies. So anything else you need, your program of studies is the course catalog. It is on the North website. It is linked on the scheduling hub. And I think it's also linked off the district page. So basically it's more information with a little more about each of the classes, anything that has a prerequisite, what year they normally take it, if it's a semester-long class or if it's a year-long class.
Getting a comment, everything is blurry.
Everything is blurry. Blurry is not good because it's not blurry on my screen. So we're getting a comment, things are blurry. So I'm going to try to figure out what that is. Do you guys see it? Okay. I'm just going to keep going. I'm sorry. Maybe you can go back and watch the recording. Additional tools, MyApp, that's the multi-year academic planner. It is in Infinite Campus, and the kids are going to schedule their classes for it next year, but they're also going to go in and kind of create a graduation plan so they can put in their courses that they want to take as a freshman for next year, and then things that they might want to take sophomore year, junior year, and senior year, so they kind of map out their next 4 years, which is their graduation plan. The graduation plan is not set in stone. You can go back and edit and change things as they find things that they like and don't like, or classes that they want to take, or things like that. So it's not a, you have to do this, but it's more of a, this is kind of what I'm going to do to get through high school plan, which is what your graduation plan is. Do they get to select seals in the plan yet, or no, in Infinite Campus? Okay.
Will not be able to do that.
Seals will be required, but you can't select them in Infinite Campus, but just kind of know which seals that you're kind of going for and select your classes or your courses based off of the 2 seals that you need for graduation. Our scheduling timeline was sent out to you I think a week ago now, and I sent it out again today. But here's first week of March, you're going to do the scheduling presentations in E&I with the students. So they're going to get the same information that you're kind of getting today. The counselors are going to be available to answer questions. That is the links. They'll be at the North Lecture Hall if you have a student that's at North, or they're going to do Google Meets, and the links are on the scheduling hub. And then March 3rd, they're going to do a parent meeting as well. This was linked on the scheduling hub from 9 to 9:45. If you can log in, then you can listen to the North counselors talk. The week of March 8th, teachers are going to go through with the students and kind of verify the courses that they have on their course sheet. And then students will be able to enter their courses in Infinite Campus. The thing that the teachers are going to do to make sure that they're going on to the right math class, that they have all the core classes that they need, that they have 6 classes that they're going to have each semester. So kind of just a double check before they enter all their information into Infinite Campus. And then March 12th is the date that students must have all courses entered in their MyApp with their 4-year plan kind of put in place. So that is all I have as far as information that I am presenting to you. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here and then see if there are people that have information. Seals. Mr. Reddy, you got it? Okay, sorry. I see a little bit of a delay on my sidebar of what questions that are coming through. So I have everybody else kind of helping me go through questions. And like I said, that there are there's a more in-depth presentation that's on the scheduling hub. If you want to watch that, I just kind of walk through a little bit like how to get the kids started, what they're going to do for the scheduling process, but like on there has more high school requirements and everything that they need to go through to get out of high school. The VLA is working with the students. I know our school counselors have gone into the meetings with the teachers to help get them set up for VLA. So we'll be working with our VLA students as well to get them through the process. And the VLA teachers will know the process as well to kind of help them out. The only thing is they won't have a paper copy of that form to fill out, but they can do it digitally. As far as the seals go, I know that it's like you can do a different like variety of options. It's like to get kids more involved in school. Honors diploma is a seal. If they're in clubs or activities, those are different seals. What are some examples? A biomed program has a seal, right?
Yeah, so, well, the biomed program really goes into the honors diploma for the STEM diploma.
Okay, so honors diploma for STEM
There's
diploma.
the seal of bioliteracy if a student goes into the foreign language pathway. There are seals if they want to join the military.
Okay.
There are seals if they earn a 12-point industry credential. So I linked it in the chat,
Okay.
the 12 seals that are available.
Got it. Seals don't require a test necessarily. Seals are like you take certain classes, you're involved in certain activities, and once you do those, then you'll earn that seal. It might be a certain pathway, like the biomed pathway. Global Scholars gets you to the seal of biliteracy, so there are different ways that they can go, but they're not necessarily tests that the kids are required to take that go with them.
There's one parent asking if they can do the MyApp with the child and have everything done before E&I.
Yes, you can go ahead and do the MyApp with your child. You don't have to wait for E&I. So if you go through the hub and you're ready to go, you can go in and schedule. There's the question on seals to get an honors diploma. The honors diploma automatically gives you one of the 2 seals. Like the courses that you take for an honors diploma will give you one of the 2 seals that you need.
Just one question about scheduling classes like band and audition classes. So, and that's what I was working on typing, but if you want to share.
Okay.
Students will sign up for the courses that are in the scheduling sheet. When they try out for band and they make it, then they'll get with their counselor to modify their schedule. Okay.
So any class like band or orchestra that has multiple options as far as which one you could go into, they're going to sign up for band or orchestra. And then when they do their tryout or audition, the directors will send a list to the counselors, and then the students will get with the counselors and make sure that they're in the right course for band or orchestra. So they can put it on there, not knowing which one they're going to enter into. It's a place filler until they get the right course.
Sorry.
Anyone can take pre-AP. It doesn't matter. You don't have to qualify. There are no prerequisites for pre-AP courses. So you can just go, like if you were in English 8, you can go and take pre-AP English 9. There are no requirements beyond that. What is a college ready score on ACT, SAT?
It is 18 in English.
18 in English for ACT.
22 in reading and 22 in math.
22 in reading, 22 in math. Those are your college ready for ACT.
And for the SAT, it's 480 or higher on the reading writing.
480 or higher on SAT and reading or writing.
And a 530 in math.
And a 530 in math.
The list of requirements for the honors diploma can probably be found on the North website, correct?
Yep, and I just put in there that it's
also in the hub too. Okay. Yeah, so honors diploma requirements are in the hub, and they might make sure you're doing the right class because they've changed, like the seniors have different requirements than the freshmen do.
There's another question of whether or not students can take pre-AP. I think I heard you answer that.
Yeah, I was kind of watching.
There are some AP classes now that have prerequisites.
Okay, some AP classes have prerequisites. Pre-AP do not, though.
But they can look in the scheduling hub and go to the
Program of Studies has the prereqs in it?
Yes.
Okay. So if you want to know if a class has a prerequisite or not, you can go in the Program of Studies and it has the prerequisite listed there for the course as well. They don't qualify for honors classes at the high school level. That's different. You have to qualify at the junior high level for honors, or what we have is gifted classes. In the high school, you can take what you want as a freshman. Like you can take honors geometry, honors, is there honors algebra?
There's honors algebra 2, not honors algebra.
Okay, so you can take honors geometry, honors algebra 2, but there's no honors algebra 1. So you can take the different course level. If they want to try a more challenging course, they can. There's no qualifications that they need for the honors program.
Mr. Warner is asking, what is the difference between AP and CCP?
Okay.
Probably easier to say that.
AP classes are advanced placement classes. They're through the College Board. They require a certain syllabus to be taught, and they also have a end of course exam where you have to get a 3, 4, or 5, depending on what the course is, to get the credit, like the AP college credit for it. A CCP class is part of the College Credit Plus program. You are literally taking the college level course at that point in time with an instructor who is certified as a college level instructor. You just need to get a C or higher on those in that class to get the credit, like college credit for that. And it also goes, both AP and CCP classes are dual credit, and more like you get the high school credit for the class, and then if you qualify, you get the college credit as well.
Yeah, I also add that CCP courses are more for students who are focusing on in-state college, and AP courses are more easily transferred
Out of state?
Out of state.
Okay. So CCP classes, if someone is going to be going to a university or college that is in the state, those are more geared towards them because those college credits transfer because they're in state already. If you think you're going to go out of state, then AP is probably the way you want to go because AP courses, the credit transfers more easily to out of state than a CCP class would.
And that's because it's a national curriculum, but AP is good in Ohio.
Okay. It's because it's a national curriculum, but AP courses are also good in the state of Ohio as well. So CCP, AP, both accepted in our state. If you want to go out of Ohio, you're probably looking more towards the AP route.
Any extra steps for VLA students going to in-person?
Nope.
As of right now, we have not received any information on VLA.
Yeah. We don't have specific information on VLA, like coming back to in-person for next year. They just have to register. In our system right now, they are flipped over to be at North, at Central, wherever they are coming back to the building. It would only be, I think the extra steps is if they decide they want to stay VLA, because we don't have a lot of information on what or if that looks like for next year. So if they're coming back into the building, as long as they're registering for their courses, they're good to go. These are all very good questions.
Mm-hmm.
Giving us a run for our money. Really glad we invited Mr. Rutter here. If you don't know, both Mr. Baptist and I were principals at North at one point, so we have a general idea of a lot of things that go on, but the counseling world always changes. So it's good to have people who are in the know and are doing something.
Mr. Warner has another question about examples of advanced classes, and those are any classes with a lab.
Okay.
That go beyond the core graduation requirements.
Okay, so advanced courses are any class that has a lab that go beyond like what you would need for like the basic requirements for high school graduation. So physics is one of them, or
basic core requirement for science is advanced math.
Basic core requirement for science is advanced math,
Yeah,
for example.
So it's any science other than biology and integrated science.
So any science that's not biology or integrated science would be considered advanced science course. Does that make sense? Did I say that right? Okay.
Is there a cost for
AP has a,
AP, there's a currently it's $95.
Okay. So the cost for an AP class course is currently $95, and that is for the test, right?
Mm-hmm.
That pays for your exam. That goes with that. CCP courses taken through the school, like during the school year.
Well, it's free through the CCP program. The
Right.
only financial responsibility is if they fail it.
Right. So if you fail a CCP course, then you owe that money back to the school. So you have to get a C or higher on your CCP class, and then it's free. But if you get a D or an F, then you are paying the school for that course. Do they pay for books for CCP?
Yes.
They do have to pay
Yeah.
for the books?
Well, no, students don't.
The
I thought
students
you were
don't.
asking if we do. We
Okay. So if there's like a book or something that's required for CCP, the district pays for that. You would not pay out of pocket for
And
that.
and most of those books are provided if they attend outside of the district for CCP.
Okay.
In the district, the teachers have them and give them out to
Mhm.
the students.
So if they are taking CCP outside of the district, like they're going to the university, they're still paying, like the district is still paying for those. If they're taking a CCP class that's housed at the high school, we have the books at the high school so that they're already provided for the students there.
There's a question about whether summer PE is being offered. It's tentative right now. More information will follow at a later date.
Okay. There's a comment that says we're confusing. I don't know if you can hear Mr. Rutter, so if you can, I can let him talk. So the summer courses, we're still kind of waiting to hear about summer PE and all of the courses that kind of go along with it. Yes, the counselors will be available to support VLA. I don't know. They had Wednesday hours. What were your
I'll
Wednesday?
put the timeline on.
Okay. Mrs. Geiger will post the timeline on again for when the counselors are available, so that you can see.
Now, I want to stress that there's availability all throughout the week. We're just having a specific presentation on Wednesday, so we'll be available all next week.
Okay. So the counselor said that they will be available all next week. There was a question that said, if a student chooses not to take study hall, can they double up on science? Like, can they take integrated science and biology? They have to take integrated before they can take biology. But there are other classes that they could double up on that wouldn't, like, they don't have to go in order.
And also, they will not be able to more likely take a seventh class because 2 of their classes next year will be an hour long. So they probably won't get a full 40-minute or an hour time slot to be able to take class. They probably will get like a half an hour study hall.
Yeah, I know my son's a freshman this year and he has a 20-minute study hall. So it's not enough time in which you could take another course. Looking for CCP courses.
I'll send that again as well.
Okay, Mrs. Geiger is going to send out the link for the CCP course availability as well.
And just stress too that CCP.
Go ahead.
I'm just talking.
You can come.
So CCP is also offered on campus at North, and it's also offered off campus at college sites. Most of those college courses are going to be online because of the pandemic right now, but they will probably transition back to campus courses at some point next year. We can offer you information on CCP courses that are at North, but if you want to look more into what's offered outside of North, you would have to go to the college campus itself to see what's available.
Which is linked there in the chat.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm trying to see where his seals are. The seals are not in the system yet. The students have not selected their seals.
Can you guys clarify CCP as there's a parent? CCP stands for College Credit Plus. So it's a college level course.
Sorry.
Just kind of looking through. I'll give a few more minutes for questions to roll in. If nobody else has anything, then we'll kind of stop. Acuplacer. The acuplacer they usually take in March, but I'm not sure when they're taking it there. They have to go to the offsite to do it. Okay. So they're not offering the acuplacer at North anymore. They're not taking it in the district. They have to go offsite to take it. I know that my child took it at Reynoldsburg's campus for Columbus State. So you could definitely get there, but it's offsite. So you have to call and schedule and make an appointment to do it. For the general freshman year requirements is usually integrated science. If they took integrated science at the junior high, then they would go on to biology. They need English. They need a math class. Algebra 1 is the freshman course. If they took Algebra 1 here, they would go on to geometry. If they took geometry here, they would go on to a variety like Algebra 2 or several other math classes. And then they take world history as their social studies. So those are the basic classes, and then they add in their electives after that. Health is a requirement. PE is a requirement. People usually take health as a sophomore, though. So you can get all those kind of out of the way early on.
There's still an application process for colleges.
Yes, it is in the hub.
So on the bottom middle section of the hub is a CCP location, the College Credit Plus courses. It has Dean Sabetta's email address. He is our person that's in charge of CCP. The application and all of the forms that you need to fill out to take a College Credit Plus are located there. So that is your best bet if you're looking for CCP information.
Yeah. CCP courses at North next year will be offered by Marion Technical College and OSU Marion.
Okay.
So the application is on, like you said, is on the hub.
Okay. So anything that you need for those CCP classes, you can find on the hub, but the university is changing. You have to take both PE and health. Health is a required class. It is a semester-long class. They have to take that one. PE, you have to have a half credit of it, but you can do what's called a PE waiver. If they're involved in marching band, athletics, for several seasons, then they can use that waiver form, and they wouldn't have to take PE in school for that. It will waive that credit, or it kind of replaces that credit, but health they will have to take. And yes, you can take CCP classes as a freshman. The thing I will have to warn you about, like, especially when you get to the CCP English classes, is they are higher level and higher like maturity as far as what they're reading, what they're writing, and things of that sort. So you just have to be sure that your student is really ready to take those courses, because it is a college course. It is not for high school. It is the college curriculum, the college material.
And due to state and federal law, the colleges cannot release their grades to the parents. They have to be directly funneled by the student.
Okay. Also, when you're talking about CCP courses, like parents can't contact the teachers. Everything has to go through the students. Is due to FERPA. So there are different rules that are kind of associated with CCP. Everything gets funneled through the students. So the parents are kind of out of the picture when you get to that CCP part of it. Competitive sports outside of school can count as a PE waiver, but you have to do what's called a flex credit, which is, you can find that on the district website. There's a plan that you have to go through in a process, but like if they do gymnastics, for example, like outside of the district, we don't have a gymnastics team, that can count. You just have to go through the process of the application for flex credit. VLA students can participate in marching band as far as I know. I have not heard otherwise. Okay, it is 7:03. We'll give it 2 more minutes for questions. And then there's also a link. Is there a link? There's links to get to the counselors if you have further questions or more specific questions, or very much so questions about like your student's process. So you can always use those Google Meet links as well. So we'll give it a couple more minutes if there's any other questions, and then we'll let everybody else get on with their evenings. So thank you everybody for joining us. It's been very informational, I think, for us too, to see what kind of questions are out there. It helps us kind of prepare as well to help your kiddos schedule. Okay, so the different setup as far as courses go for VLA students, you mean for students that are staying in the VLA? I kind of need clarification on that, because we don't really know if or what VLA looks like for next year. Credits required to graduate for an honors diploma. Is it 20? Okay. They're sharing the credits that are required for an honors diploma right now to you. Yes. Okay. So as far as students that are going to stay VLA, that are currently VLA, that want to stay VLA, or students who want to go VLA next year, we have very limited information. We know they're looking at it and they're looking at a process or procedure or what it looks like, but we have no information on VLA for next school year. So that is in the works. Look for further information coming. I know that they're presenting it, I think sometime in the next month, but I don't have information. But what I will tell you is if your kid is thinking about doing VLA, you're thinking about doing VLA, just schedule them in now so that and then we can flip over, like know what courses they're going to need or going to want to take. And so you have that general kind of plan in place already. And then if you get the VLA format and it looks a little different, we can kind of work with that. Yes, so for any student that is currently in the VLA, our teachers will help, our counselors are here to help, our admin will help you guys, and the students pick their classes so they can access us. Our school counselors have hours that they're available for the VLA students, that any of the VLA students can drop in on any of the Google Meet hours for the North counselors and ask questions. So we're here to support them. They can also email any of us and we can get back to them as well with responses. So they can ask as many questions as they need to and we'll help them through the process. The links for specific student questions are on the hub. If you look in the upper right-hand corner, there's links to Google Meets that you can talk face-to-face with one of the high school counselors and ask specific questions about your student. Advanced math is anything beyond Algebra 2, right?
Anything after Algebra 2 is
Yeah.
advanced math.
Anything that is after Algebra 2 counts as advanced math for the honors diploma. I don't know if they can still do CCP classes for VLA as well. At CCP, they could go to a university and take classes there. So I'm thinking that they can do that process, but I'm not sure what the CCP VLA combination looks like.
That'll really be dependent on whether the college offers the online course.
Yeah, it's really dependent on if the college offers the course online or if it has to be in person. Anyone in the VLA is not automatically scheduled for VLA next year. Anyone in the VLA is actually rolled into the regular enrollment next year. You're going to have to specify if you want to keep your student in the VLA. And I believe the district sent out a survey to families that are currently in the VLA asking if they wanted to do VLA for next year. It's just to gauge interest. It wasn't, yes, I'm going to do this next year, but it's to see if you were interested or not. After like school activities, we don't have extra credit, like as far as like credit for classes. Marching band does have an after school component as they practice, and marching band is a course that they get credit for that will go towards their fine arts. But like there's not like other ones that would be like course specific that happen after school. But they do use those as they could use that as part of their seals, as Mr. Rudder put in there as well. So some of those activities that they do after school can count towards one of their graduation seals. Okay, I'm gonna give it another minute and I'm calling it at 7:10 here so that everybody can get off and you can keep accessing the hub. If you need the link sent out, we can send it, just shoot us an email, let us know. There's also the FAQ at the top of the hub in the upper left-hand side. And then there's the links to the Google Meets with the North counselors if you have questions, or if your student has a question, or if they're a VLA kid and they want to jump in and ask questions, they can do so as well. But thank everybody for your time and your questions. And I hope this was helpful for everybody. And like I said, we're available. Jazz band is a class, isn't it?
Jazz band, yes.
Jazz band is a course that they take during the day, so that would count as a fine art credit.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. I am signing off now. If you have other questions, feel free to email or jump in on Google Meets. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you around. And we'll have your kids ready to go for North for next year.